A small independent studio called Red Boon has created an intriguing visual treat for us called Knock on the Coffin Lid. It is an extremely customizable and replayable turn-based card game with roguelike features. The 2D artwork and design are superbly executed, and the straightforward animations lighten the moody setting. A knock on your coffin will awaken you from your eternal slumber and take you on a dark adventure to solve the mystery of your untimely death. Story. You are quickly thrust into an adventure while the game presents its dark story to you in a brief and hazy manner. In the dark fantasy world of Knock on the Coffin Lid, there are numerous warring races including dwarves, orcs, elves, humans, and others. Along with the main characters, the Lord Ingvar had recently been killed while attempting to re-establish order in the lands. You fight, die, and loot your way through a network of diverging paths on the map, slowly revealing the entire picture piece by piece. You try to piece together the history of the lands and the explanation for your unfortunate death and reanimation, learning a new piece of the story with each new match. This method of telling a story can occasionally be difficult to follow because it gives the impression that the story is already moving along without much exposition to provide direction. Gameplay. Much like the story, players are launched straight into gameplay with little explanation. Thankfully, the combat mechanics are simple and easy enough to understand at first, and as you progress you'll add more cards to your deck and equipment to your character to allow for some more interesting plays. Given the complexity and variety of the game, it is desirable to have a thorough understanding of its mechanics in order to truly master it. 3 playable characters are present as of the time of this review. Each one adds to the gameplay while also advancing the plot. Percival the Knight, Venati's the Bandit Animal Charmer, and Bjorn the Elven Werewolf. Each character is unique in having different stories including separate card decks that actually provide different strategies with new game mechanics to learn. With a blend of story, looting, and combat, the game's overall pacing is quite good. You have a lot of options to choose from, and different routes offer various stories to hear and battles to engage in or avoid. Although the game is still in early access, there will undoubtedly be some changes made before a full release. The essential elements of a great game are already present, and the overall presentation is polished enough to be quite enjoyable. That being said, there are some descriptions in the game that aren't very intuitive and some encounters that seem impossible given the random elements of the game. You could chalk this up to being inexperienced, but there was one encounter that had a work-in-progress tag clearly on display. Replayability. Roguelike games are known for focusing on replayability, and Knock on the Coffin Lid doesn't disappoint. There are different difficulty settings available in story mode, and there are a variety of effects to choose from in roguelike mode to spice things up and possibly make the game easier or harder. The main map has multiple branches with different encounters and stories to uncover. The completionist in me wants to be able to see every path all in one run, but that will have to be something to look forward to on subsequent playthroughs. Characters can level up to gain new cards for subsequent plays, and a variety of equipment sets can be purchased to enable different playstyles. It feels like there is enough depth to make you want to play again and keep going to try out every option available, but doesn't feel like a chore to repeat. Sound and graphics. The soundtrack fits perfectly within the game and sets the tone for each encounter. Sound is often neglected and becomes monotonous or intrusive. Many cutscenes have quality voiceovers, but not every bit of text has corresponding voice acting. From the gloomy tunes during cutscenes and atmospheric sound effects during special encounters to the tension found in the battle music, all build to enhance the overall experience. The graphics are composed of numerous layers of 2D art with basic animations, and the overall aesthetic is really well designed and pleasing to the eye. From the lovely backgrounds to the intriguing creatures and characters to the understated yet sophisticated design of the cards and user interface. Even though we are being destroyed by difficult bosses, everything is cohesive and functions well to provide a fun experience. Knock on the Coffin Lid is an excellent game that is constantly receiving updates. Too many early access games are empty shells of pushed-back promises. We anticipate a complete release in a grim future populated by interesting characters, compelling plotlines, and a ton of cards. On Steam, Knock on the Coffin Lid is currently in early access. According to us, 3 out of 5 points. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.